If you were no longer affected by the judgment of others and you stopped judging yourself, would you make different choices? Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here's the host of Inspired Choices Radio Show, Possibilities Coach Christine McIver.
That's right. This is me, Christine. I am punchy tonight. Are you getting ready to have some fun? We are going to have some wonderful time here on the Inspired Choices Radio Show tonight. Tonight we are talking about how to create when everyone is creating more. Did you guys get the emphasis on the everyone? Yeah, tonight we are talking about creating, and it has all to do with business and maybe even relationship and maybe even money. What would you like to apply this to? What pops when I said that title for you about creating? So last week we had, the last few weeks I've really been getting that my business is asking and my radio show is asking for more all about business on the radio. And you know me, I do love business. It is a pleasure to me. So last week, if you didn't catch it, it was 10 ways to make your business more pleasurable. And if you didn't catch that and you'd like to, please do, because there's actually a fabulous PDF that I put together to really contribute to you, to really be looking at that and inviting more and more pleasure into your business each and every day. And I don't know about you, but I can never have enough pleasure. Can I get an amen on that? If you are listening live and you would like to join me in the chat room, please do. We have so much fun in the chat room. I love your comments, your questions, and you can always call in as well. All the phone numbers are right there on the Inspired Choices Network website. So come on over, inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. And if you're listening on one of our other live streaming platforms, thank you for checking in. You can check us out on so many different platforms. I can barely keep up with all of them, and I'm the one that actually did the creation of it. So you can catch us on TuneIn, you can catch us on iTunes Radio, you can catch us on Radioline, on online Radio Box. We are all over the place. And we absolutely love getting our message and our voices out to the world. So tonight, as I said, we're going to be talking about creating and learning how to really create when everyone around us is creating and what that might be causing for you. Before we jump into that, I would love to share a little bit about myself. If you're new to who is this crazy lady on the radio, let me tell you. I am a possibilities coach. And what that really means to me is tapping into that urge inside of us that where we know something else is possible, where it sometimes is an uncomfortable ache that starts to rise up because we're dissatisfied with a state of being in our lives, in our bodies, in our business, in our relationship. That's usually where it begins. But behind that, there is maybe even an unconscious knowing that there is more that is truly, truly possible. When I connect with individuals or with organizations, the biggest thing that I really it's just so natural for me, I'm honing in on is what their desires are and what is asking to bring our attention to have that actualized. That just turns me on. I was working with a client today, and just connecting. We're just connecting over a video, and it was so playful and so much fun. And just in that conversation, in this real discovery space, we got to some more places and spaces with her regarding her business. And business doesn't have to be heavy and hard. And that's what I really love about it. Business can be a lot of work sometimes, yes, and simultaneously it can be a lot of pleasure. So I work with people regarding their businesses. I work with people regarding their relationships. I work with people regarding their finances, self-confidence, relationships ending, whether that's a marriage, a business partnership, a friendship, whatever that is. I have a lot of different programs. As well, I work with people and their bodies. I do a thing called Access Consciousness. I run body processes and the bars, and I facilitate the bars class and the foundation class. I just finished a 4-day foundation class yesterday, and lucky me, I'm starting another one tomorrow. So how does it get any better than that? I love to do lots of things, and I love creating. So this show tonight really, I'm surprised I haven't done it before, because creating is such a part of my every day. It's like breathing for me. It comes very, very naturally today. But I can tell you that it didn't always. So stick around. We are going to get deeply into this conversation. But if you would like to connect with me about any of these programs that I've been talking about, I have a Divorce with Dignity, I have a Pleasure of Business, I have Be the Dominatrix of Your Life, I have Bars class, Foundation class. If you'd like to know any more of that, please pop over to my personal website, inspiredchoices.ca. And if you have any comments or questions, if you would like to learn a little bit more, you can connect with me by sending me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. And of course, here on the Inspired Choices Network, all of my information is there that you can reach out to me on all the social media platforms. You can basically find me everywhere. I am everywhere. I do get around. This girl gets around. So tonight, how to create when everyone is creating more. Let me read the description to you. So I would love, love, love for you to tap into this and let me know what's coming up for you. So how do I possibly create anything interesting that people will choose when everyone is creating so much more than me? Anybody? Anybody ever felt this way? How would I make others choose anything that I create? And how can it really be fun and easy? So, if you found yourself in the position of comparing yourself to anyone else, perhaps to everyone else out there, I can tell you that number one, you're normal, and number two, you can change it. You can change it very, very quickly. Some of the things that I've gone through in the 9 years of being in my own business, I'm going to be sharing tonight, as I do in many of my radio shows about business and my programs. But one of the biggest things that I don't know many people realize is people see where I am today, and they're often astounded by all of the things that I'm doing and creating. And I can tell you, just kind of like building any muscle, if you're going to the gym, you don't step up to the big weights right at the beginning, right? It's not something that I've been able to do. I've just started going back to the gym, and I'm using very little weights. But the whole invitation is about stepping up, right, and beginning. When I first started in my own business, I was doing what I had done before, which was human resources. That was the very first thing that I did. And very shortly after beginning my own business in that area, it was too limited. It wasn't enough. And clearly, my body and my business and my being were asking for something different. And that's where I transitioned into being a coach. So my business primarily became a coaching business. Now, it still has an aspect of human resources. I still work with some companies that desire that support, but the majority of it went into human resources. So I would work one-on-one with people. Now, 9 years ago, life coaching was still one of those new things where people would go, "You do what? What does that mean?" And I would go, "Oh my gosh, how do I explain this to someone that just gave me the weirdest look possible?" And so the best analogy really is, I would say to them, well, is there some area of your life or your business that's not working for you? And they would look at me like I had 6 heads, like, of course, Christine. My life's not perfect. Whose is? And so what I would begin to invite them into is what the tools were that I could contribute and work with them one-on-one to change it. Now, most people out of the gate thought it was counseling. And that was, so more in the beginning, I was doing a lot of educating. And truthfully, I wasn't getting a great deal of traction because most people thought that they had to have something really wrong with them. And then they would look at actually going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. A lot of people would say, well, is this covered by insurance? And coaching for the most part in most organizations does not cover this in their insurance. And so it was oftentimes I'd like to, Christine, but no. And so that was a real challenge for me. And I kept looking at, how am I going to get more clients? So I kept looking down this one avenue of developing my coaching clients and trying so hard to show people the value. And in doing that, I started to get super frustrated. And I started to question my capacity and my abilities and really started to question, did I make a really foolish decision going into my own business? Because this wasn't growing very quickly. I mean, I was barely getting by, and certainly I didn't have my income at the level that it was when I was working full time. So that was a really big struggle. Now, I was very, very fortunate to have a mentor in my life who had been in business that I mentored at his feet as a very young little girl. My father was in his own business, and I saw that things could change and grow and evolve. And yes, I did get the bug that you had to work really, really hard. So I kept pushing and pushing and pushing to see what I could do to get my business to grow. And from that push, and I'm being very deliberate with this, from a really big push energy and pushing myself more than pushing other people. I wasn't comfortable pushing people into hiring me, but I was comfortable at pushing myself hours on end to try to figure this out. So there was a lot of things that weren't working for me. Now, mind you, I still had clients, each and every month, but it certainly wasn't to the level that I had desired to have. So I continued along on my coaching business, and fortunately, a couple of the people that I started to coach with about a year after I began coaching, they, when I would start to talk to them, they would come to me about the things that weren't working in their life. And then I started to really look at, well, what is it that you would like to create in your life? And fortunately, a couple of those people said, well, I'd like to actually go into my own business. Now, part of my head was screaming, really? Are you sure? Because this thing is tough. And another part of me was saying, Christine, shush, what could you contribute to them? So the very first thing that they started to talk about was, well, I can't really go into my own business because I don't have a website. Now, back then, I believed that to be true, that you needed a website in order to be in your own business in this day and age. It's definitely a huge asset. It's not mandatory, of course. So I started to say, well, I could build your website. Now, I can tell you something. I'd only built one. I'd built my own, but I was determined. So my question to you is, how determined are you to begin to create more and more in your business? Are you determined to do whatever it takes, even if it has you learning something new, even if it has you being uncomfortable? You see, the people that are willing to do what it takes are the people that are going to outcreate themselves more and more and more. And getting uncomfortable actually begins to be comfortable, because as you keep stretching yourself and stretching yourself, that becomes your new norm. So if that is something that you're saying yes to, or even maybe to, will you stick around for the second half of the show? I would love to invite you into more possibilities and to show you how much more pleasurable your business can be and is desiring to be and contribute to you. So you are listening to Christine here on the Inspired Choices radio show on the Inspired Choices Network. When we get back, we're going to dive into more of the possibilities regarding creating greater in your business and your life. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices radio show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you ready to have pleasure with your business? Yes, I said pleasure with your business. The pleasure of business a la carte will surprise you with topics like meet yourself in the boardroom, money, services, and you. Expand your visibility. The pleasure of communication. The pleasure of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Christine McIver has so much pleasure with business and loves teaching all things business. Beginning a new business? Desiring to expand a current business? Or looking to resurrect a business that has been dormant? This program will get you fired up and bring more pleasure than you have ever imagined. Exhausted with your excuses for not creating a phenomenal business? Join now for all the pleasure with business. Pleasure of Business a la carte gives you total choice for what you desire and what your business requires. That's 24 weeks of different topics to choose from with weekly calls, audio and video recordings, and PDFs. This class will have you dive right in and use tools to create the business that has been speaking to you. Go to inspiredchoices.ca for full details or join the Facebook page, Pleasure of Business a la carte. Now is the time for you and your business.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736 or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Before we jump into the show, I do want to tell you about something very, very cool. We have put together, my team and I here on the Inspired Choices Network, we have put together an amazing contest. So if you are listening to this, it is December the 6th, 2017, and we've put together a contest where you could win 3 months of your very own radio show. We are going to work with you one-on-one to get your radio show live. We're going to take care of all the technical aspects. We're going to train you on how to do radio. So even if you've never done radio before, and if you have a message, if you are an expert in your field and you would like to bring your voice to the platform, you can actually win that. You can go over to the Inspired Choices Network, and right on the homepage you will see some advertisements, and you can click on that. You can apply to be part of the contest, and you could possibly be our very next radio show host here on the Inspired Choices Network. We are going to bring your voice all around the world, and we are going to have so much pleasure doing it. So we would love, love, love to have you join us. We actually have one of our contestants in the chat room tonight with us. I'm so happy that she's here. Patricia, she's known as Patricia. If you see her in the survey, Patricia is playing, and she's doing amazing. I haven't actually told her how well she's doing, but Patricia Ann Morrison, better known as Patty, is in the contest. Good for you, Patty. And we are cheering each and every one of our contestants on. We love to see people stepping out into the world. And that's kind of what this show is all about. It's about really stepping in and getting to know what it is that you can be doing to be creating more in your business. So, a lot of us, what we're doing is we're desiring to create more, and we look around us and, oh my gosh, there we are looking at everybody else and what everybody else is creating. As I said, when I first got started, things weren't that easeful. And I did start to look at what everybody else was doing and really started to judge myself that I wasn't good enough or I was never going to be good enough. And you know what that did, guys? That actually took me out of the energy of possibilities. It took me out of the energy of the creations that were trying to come through to me. So one of the biggest things that I would really, really invite you into is maybe go in nature, or maybe go into the bath, or sit in your meditation space and get a pad of paper or maybe a little book and begin to write down some ideas. Now, yes, you could put them in your phone, but when you've got a pen in your hand and maybe you start to do a little bit of doodling, something might start to come through that you would never even imagine. And it's really, really fun. You know that game where people go, okay, just start clicking the words that come up, the next words that come up on your phone to see the sentence that you create? What if you started to write down a word, or you started to write down, I would love to create, and see what comes out when you just start writing? This is some of the fun, easeful ways, and there's no right or wrong to it, and it doesn't mean that you're going to do whatever pops up, but that may lead you to another idea. So here's the really, really big thing that I want you to get, and I've got lots of ideas to invite you into creating, but here's the really big thing that I want you to get. There are 7.5 billion people on planet Earth. And if you had an idea for a business, or you had an idea to create a relationship in a different way, if you had an idea on how to generate money, that idea came to you. It didn't come to anyone else. Now, here's the deal. If you don't institute that idea, what I know is someone else will pick up on it. Someone else will get the energy of that idea, and they'll start to create it. Now, I'm not the only coach in the world. I'm not the only business coach. I'm not the only radio station owner. I'm not the only website builder. I'm not the only author. But I'm the only one that does it my way. I'm the only one that has Christine McIver's energy to it. I'm the only one that brings my delicious energy to the table. And if you're listening to me, there's something about my energy that is attracting you in. How does it get any better than that? The same applies to you. The exact same thing applies to you. So if you feel like you're empty with creative ideas, that's the very first thing I want you to get, is when an idea comes to you and wants to come through you, the people that are looking for the energy that you be, they will come forward. If you are willing to play with the ideas and you're willing to create it your way. Are you truly willing to create it your way, or are you examining how everybody else is doing it? Are you going against your own knowing, or worse yet, are you not even asking what's true for you? Yeah. I know that when I was in that space, I would constantly, beating myself up because I thought, I can't think of anything to do. I can't think of anything to create. Why would anybody come to me? It's not good enough. And that is a crock of shit. I'm telling you right now, you have your own ideas, and there's somebody else out there looking for you. If you have an idea of a business, somebody's looking for that business. If you have an idea for a book, somebody's looking to read that book. A very good friend, Sherry, who has been a radio show host here on the network, that's something that she had said to me a long time ago in one of her very first radio interviews was, I can't even think of Sherry's last name because she got married. I'm sorry. We'll get it in a second and I'll let you guys know. She is actually a writing coach, and that was one of the very first things that she said to me. Thank you, Rhonda. You're amazing. Sherry Caddick. And she that's one of the very first things that she said was that if you have an idea for a book, someone's waiting to read it. And oh my gosh, did that inspire me. Like, I was like, that makes so much sense to me. I mean, my whole body resonated with that. So if there is something that's going on in your ideas, in your thoughts, someone is looking for it. You don't need to go figure out who it is. Your job in your creation is to have fun with it. And what would you like to create? Well, you know, one of the greatest things is to think about if you were looking for the product or service you'd like to deliver, what would you like it to look like? What would you like it to, what kind of experience would you like to have with that product or that service or that relationship? What would you desire to have that you've yet found that if you would actually step up to the plate with it, others would be able to have the opportunity to enjoy it? So the wonderful, wonderful thing is there are so many creations in the world. There are. And if you are, for the most part, I'm going to stay on the business side tonight. But this can apply to everything. But if you are an entrepreneur, if you're someone that desires to be an entrepreneur or have your own business, whether that is a part-time business or a full-time business, you are likely connected in with a lot of other people that are in the same field, that they are desiring to have a business or they already do. So what we are all tending to do is we're tending to look at what each other is doing. And we're tending to bring our wares to the same table that everybody else is. And that can have us really trip up on this comparison thing. Well, here's what I want you to know, is that many, many of my very, very dear friends do a lot of the same similar things that I do. And they don't do them the same way I do them. And I don't do them the same way they do them. And when you really can get that competition is not real, because if someone is attracted, for instance, my amazing radio show producer tonight is Rhonda Burns, one of my dearest friends, my bestie, absolutely. She is also a coach. You know, I don't know what term she uses, but she's a life coach. She's an all-round coach that would definitely dance with you in all areas of your life and invite you into greater. Well, here's what I know. Somebody that's going to match her energy will likely not match my energy. And somebody that will match my energy will likely not match hers, right? Well, Rhonda says she thrives in the realm of taboo. Yes, that's true. She does, and she's fabulous at it. I love it. So, for all of us, the fact of the matter is that there can't be competition between Rhonda and I because our energies are different. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet, and your energy is not the exact same as anyone else, whether that is somebody who is a friend, a relative, or, even like an identical twin. Their energies are not the same. What turns you on, what lights you up, the perspectives that you take, what you know, your knowing, is not like anyone else's, and no one's is certainly like yours. So the fact of the matter is, competition absolutely does not exist. But if you are looking and saying, well, she's a coach, so therefore she's my competition, if that's as far as you go to measure what each of you bring to the table, then yes, I guess in your world, competition does exist. But the people that are going to come to each and every one of us, they're going to be attracted to the energy that we be, to the way that we do our work, to the way that we enjoy creating. So please know right away, ladies and gentlemen, that you are in competition with no one except yourself. Would you be willing to really hold yourself to that dance of being in competition with yourself and having it be a playful dance? Like, have you ever gone out to, I know I love when I go to the gym, I love seeing how, if I can push myself to, how much longer can I go on the elliptical, or how many machines can I work with today? And I challenge myself. So would you be willing to challenge yourself in the area of creating? Would you be willing to have that fun, playful energy come forward in your business? Okay, we are going to go to our second break of the night. When we come back, I see that we do have a caller, and I also want to tell you about some amazing promotions that I have going on right now. They're actually anniversary specials that are still going on for just another couple of weeks. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back after this short commercial break. Thank you.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning in to Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for staying tuned tonight. I am really enjoying this show. So before we take our caller, I want to tell you about a little bit about the coaching packages that I have. There are actually some business packages. So the very first one is called the Pleasure of Business Recording. So this is 24 weeks of video, audio, and amazing documentation of walking you through step by step so many different social media platforms, how to create your business online, how to step into lots and lots of challenges that we have. You can check out all of these weeks and everything that we covered. Like one week we talked about manipulation. Next week's going to be communication. Yesterday we talked about Canva. There's all sorts of subjects that we're covering. Those 24 weeks live are a value of $3,600. Now, until the end of the year, you can get those for only $777. So that's 24 hours of audio, video, and amazing documentation. I'm telling you, you want to learn how to take care of yourself and your business and learn the step-by-steps, I show it all to you. So that's our offer number one. Our offer number two is our business examination consultation. Do you need a little help? Would you love a little one-on-one with a business coach who loves doing business? This is regular $250. You can get it at 70% off for only $77. And this is only lasting till the end of the year for sure. Then our last promotion is our Business Synergy Sweep. This is where I work one-on-one with you. It's a value of $3,000. So I'm going to work with you one-on-one for 20 hours. And you can get this full energy sweep where I am going to go through your business. I am going to check you out. I'm going to do branding. I'm going to do consistency. I'm going to help you set up anything and everything you can possibly imagine, from your YouTube channel to your Instagram account and everything in between. And that is regular $3,000, and you can get it for only $1,500. And that's only for the first 10 people, because it is a number of hours. So I've got it at that, and we are at 5 people. So I've only got 5 spots left if that's something you're interested in. So check all of those out at my website or in this replay, and let me know what it is you're looking for support to really kick your 2018 off in your business. So I understand we have a caller. Is our caller available? I believe it's Lisa. Are you there, Lisa?
I am. Can you hear me?
Totally. What's
awesome,
your question?
Awesome. Well, it's interesting. It's actually I'm grateful. I've been with the station now for 3 years, and honestly, when you first spoke to me about having a radio show, and this is just for anybody out there that's even sitting on the fence and thinking about it, I wanted to contribute to those people that, yes, there is definitely an energy around each person that decides or chooses to have a radio show, and there is an energy of who gets attracted to whatever it is that particular individual talks about. And one of the things I believe I was at the 1.5 or 2 year mark, and I remember just sort of sitting and wondering, was there anyone out there listening? Mm-hmm. And that was one thing. I went into what I call my pity party, or my wondering if what I spoke about had value to anyone out there. And I really have to thank you for talking me off the cliff, as they say, because there was a time when I was like, I don't know, Christine, if I'm going to do this anymore. And and you were like, really? And bless you and all your questions and your wedginess with me. It was like, wow. Okay, Lisa. So, and you walked me through the scenario of what it would look like to not have a radio show anymore. And then you walked me through the scenario of what it would be like to continue on and create it even greater than I had up to that point. And mm-hmm. I really have to say that there was this moment when I went, oh, wait a minute. You mean I can do something completely different? I could actually change it up. And somewhere in there, I had determined 3 years ago what my show was going to be about, and that I had to carry on with almost the same style. And when you just sort of did that little tweak and said to me, well, actually, you can actually talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. And I was like,
I'm sure I didn't say. Really cool. I'm sure I didn't say heck. I'm sure I said whatever the hell you want.
You know what? I'm pretty sure you did. And it was like it was like, oh my God. And I have to say that in itself was such a gift, because it was like, wow, this is another platform. It's another invitation to reach out to people. And So in your coaching of that, to me, I am very, very grateful. And you have coached me through a lot of the social media. Yes, if you want to know anything about social media, your go-to girl is definitely Christine. I'm going to give her a big shout out.
I love how you always call me a girl.
You are. You're never going to grow
Lisa,
up. So,
what's your question tonight?
Oh, right. So my question is, today, for all of those people that are sitting on the fence that are wondering, and I have been going through what I would call some reshifting in my business, what question would you put out there for them that are sitting on the fence wondering where the heck they're going to next?
That's a great question. And they're the only ones that can possibly answer that. And what I would ask them is, where are they focusing? What are they focusing on? Are they focusing outside of themselves? Are they focusing on what Lisa's creating, what Christine's creating, what Rhonda's creating? Are they focusing on what, Gary Vee is doing? Are they focusing on what, anyone besides themselves? Are they looking outside? What is it that turns you on and lights you up? What is it that you love to do? And I'm telling you right now, I could talk to anybody, and I could ask them these questions. What is it that you love to do? And what is it that everybody right now that's listening, and as long as it's safe for you to do so, close your eyes, please, including you, Lisa. The first time you thought about going into your own business, tap into that moment. Tap into the energy, of the excitement, of the possibility. Do you feel that energy of curiosity, of like, oh my gosh, I'm so going to do this. I'm so excited. And what was it that came through you in those moments? Have you abandoned all of that? Have you walked away from that energy? Have you actually given up on that first seed that was starting to come through? What was it that you, your body, your business, everything new that came through, that began to generate and catapult you forward, that maybe you have left aside for the trying to get it right, or trying to fit in, or trying to compete, or trying to compare, or trying to, do what your family says, or trying to make it work so that the money comes in a certain way? Have you decided and concluded how it's supposed to look and actually abandoned that amazing intuitive message that came to you? So what came up for everyone there? So Kara or Rhonda in the chat room said, I asked myself when I was ready to give up, if I had to do nothing else for the rest of my days, what would that be? And what would I want to talk, speak, write, coach about? That's what I chose to focus on now. That's fantastic. And that's exactly it. And a lot of us can't even, Rhonda, think of that. Like, we have a hard time getting there. But when oftentimes I take people back to that beginning moment has us tap back into that energy. And now what I'd like you to do is I would like you to pull that energy forward, whether that was 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever. Pull that energy forward. Not necessarily the way that you do it, but pull it forward and ask that energy to turn up and start to show you what else is growing from that. What else is expanding from that? And one of the greatest questions that I ask my business, that I've been asking my business for so many years, is, what can I contribute to you today? Your business, as I said last week, is your dance partner. Your business is your creative partner. And your body can also contribute and show you what else it would love to guide you into that your business is aware can be a huge contribution. But if you have this mindset that you have to do it all alone, you're going to go into your head, which has been programmed by your past experiences, and you're going to try to find something new that's not ever been there before. It doesn't happen. Do you get that, Lisa?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this one little moment where I was sitting here closing my eyes and going, okay, 3 years ago, where were you at with your business and where are you today? And it's like, boom, explosion, jet stream in every way. And so I'm incredibly grateful for even the reminder of being present with that energy of where it was and asking that energy to come forward and contribute to where I am today. And so thank you.
You're so welcome.
That was the wedgie that I needed. Thank you.
There you go, girl. And another thing to do is to actually sit down and spend some time, especially in the month of December, we often are looking at, what was my year like, and God bless us, we think we remember stuff. We don't. We don't remember what we've created over the last year. We don't remember all of our accomplishments. And I have friends that kick me in the butt, including Lisa, all the time, that say, hey, you did this and you did this and you did this, because thankfully we're often looking forward, which is great. But one of the times to look back is to actually gather all of your accomplishments and put your hand in the air and then bend it over your shoulder and pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself for all of your accomplishments. If I was to sit down and look at everything that I've created over the last 9 years, that would take me many, many, many hours to really sit and acknowledge them all. And those accomplishments, each and every one of those accomplishments have contributed to where I am today. And guess what? You can take every one of those accomplishments, everything that you created, whether it was a connection with somebody for an hour and you coached them, whether it was one product that you sold to one person just once, whether it was a communion that you had with a client that went on for many, many months. Maybe it's you've traveled to another province, another city, another country, and you've created a class there. Whatever it is that you've created, you can ask every single one of those creations to now contribute back to you. And all of those energies, pull all of those energies in and ask them. And even if you've only been in business for 1 month, you can ask each of those moments to contribute to you. And as you look at your accomplishments and as you honor yourself in what you created in those moments, the energy of your business will continue to expand. But if you are focusing on what's not here, you will start to narrow the possibilities more and more and more. And as you keep looking outside of yourself at everyone else and comparing yourself to what they are creating, you will basically start shutting down your business. I've got a couple more ideas. We're going to go for our last break. Stay tuned, everybody. When we get back, I want to share my last final thoughts about what it is you can be doing differently to create your business and no longer need to compete with anyone.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning in to Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Okay, we're in the home stretch here, talking all about creating. You know, it is so easy for us to look at what other people are doing and judge ourselves, and that, my friends, creates nothing but more friggin' judgment. And that will shut down your business. It will shut down your creations faster than anything. Now, put your hands up or just nod where you are. Did your parent or your teacher or even your child or your spouse ever compare you to somebody else's child or student or parent or ex-lover? Anyone ever been compared to someone else? I can put my hand up and say yes on practically every single one of those points. Or even were you compared to another employee? Well, let me tell you something. It didn't feel good for me to be compared to someone else. I'm sure it didn't feel good to any of you to be compared to someone else. And I can tell you right now, your business does not enjoy being compared to someone else. If your business was like your child and you were looking at every other child and saying, you know, you should be like Bobby over there. Bobby is, you know, he's so good at doing his homework on time, and he's so good at keeping his house clean, and his bedroom clean. He's so good at making sure that his shoes are never dirty when he walks in the house. Your child would feel rejected and lost and literally want to go and hide. So my question to you, my final wedgie to each and every one of you is your business hiding? Are your creations hiding? Because you're comparing your business and your creation, or the results of your business and your creations, with everyone else's. You don't need to be saying it out loud, right? Your business is an energy. Everything is energy. Your business is picking up on it, and you are literally shutting down that business, that creation, because of it. Would you be willing to talk to your business, to seduce your business forward? Would you be willing to be grateful for your business? Would you be willing to invite your business in to dance with you? What if you were to play with your business? What if tomorrow morning when you started your business, you actually put on a beautiful outfit and you did your hair and your makeup, even if you're not going to see anybody, and you actually showed up to honor you and your business and seduce your business, put on some music and dance with your business and laugh with your business and say, baby, I'm here. I'm ready to show up. What can we create today? How excited would your business be? Can you feel that energy? Can you feel that change? Instead of walking into your office and going, okay, well, there's no more money here than there was yesterday. There's no more clients here than there was yesterday. It's like, you know what? If that's the energy you're bringing to your business, it's no wonder you're having some challenges. You can be creating more than you could possibly imagine if you would be willing to stay in your own lane, if you would be willing to really show up and honor your business. The pleasure that you can actually infuse into your business when you are charming, seducing, dancing, and playing with your business each and every day, it can change everything. And you know what? If you think I'm full of shit, awesome. I'm going to double dog dare you to do this tomorrow. Double dog dare you. And if you do this tomorrow and your day sucks and you don't have more fun tomorrow than you had today, I'm going to give you an hour of coaching for free. Email me. Let me know what's going on. I double dog dare you. See you next week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.